Alright guys, got a question the other day in regards to splitter grip and realized I don't think I've ever showcased my splitter grip to you guys, so let's break it down. Throughout the career, it's been one of those things that's like, it comes and goes. When it's there, it's my best pitch. When it's not, I don't even throw it. For example, this past winter ball season, I put so much emphasis on throwing like a slider and developing a good slider. I threw 2 splitters all winter ball, and they were not good. It's just a total field pitch for me. I don't know what it is. I tinker with grips and so on and so forth, but who knows? But I will say that it was the first off-speed pitch that I learned, so I know there's some discrepancies in regards to injury, and should young kids throw this and that. I'm not even going to dive into that, because I'm not an expert in regards to that. I know that I started throwing this at a really young age as like my changeup, but whatever. So for me, I've always been a guy that split the 2 seams, and this gives me a gauge on kind of roughly how much separation I usually get and need between my fingers. Now, the separation between my fingers has been the one thing that I've always tinkered with, because I tell you, like, I don't know why it is, but for some reason I do better when my fingers are extremely wide, like this. And then sometimes I do better when my fingers are a little bit close, like that. Who knows? I don't know. Okay, so again, taking the 2 seams here and then splitting this. There's been occasions where I've actually thrown more of a split-fingered fastball, where I've taken the 2 seams there and just gently moved my fingers outside that very limited space. But this is going to increase my velocity, it's going to increase my spin rate, but it's also going to add late depth. And then I've also been, I also tinker with like super wide grip, super deep, almost like a forkball. This is going to kill spin, this is going to kill velocity, and it's also going to be a little bit harder to command in my opinion, and sometimes it just kind of falls out, because the thing with the splitter is you don't have fingers behind the baseball like every other kind of offering, where you can get a lot of feel for like the fingers in the right positioning as soon as you release the ball. The splitter for me has always been something that is a constant trial and error process with trying to figure out what's comfortable, what's the ball doing, how does it fit my repertoire, and so on and so forth. But I've never really veered too far away from like the 2 seam grip outside the 2 seam. And the other thing that's kind of been a constant changing effect has been the thumb. Sometimes I put the thumb to the side. This is going to be something that for me is more of a feel thing, to give me some sensation and feeling on the side of the baseball. And then sometimes I just put the thumb under, and sometimes I tuck. It's all just kind of based on the feel. Like I said, I have a really weird relationship when it comes to my split finger, and who knows? It's kind of a constant changing. There's some times where I'll be in the pen warming up for games, and I'll be throwing the splitter and it's not doing anything, and I'll quickly adjust either the separation of my fingers or the thumb placement, and then find something that works that particular second, and then I take it into the game and it's good, you know, and that's just kind of the way it is. But that's what I got. I know some people kind of go around this seam, some people go super forkball and use those 2 seams to pull down. Like I said, I go in between these two, the 2 seam here, like a 2 seam fastball, and widen the fingers. That just gives me the indication of like, all right, do I want to do something with more velo, more spin? Do I want to kill velo? Do I want to kill spin? I can kind of go from there with the things. And I'm trying to evenly distribute the energy. So for me, when my splitter goes bad is when I get either 1 finger dominant, meaning like if my middle finger takes over and I get behind the baseball there, or my index finger takes over and I get there. You'll see sometimes where I throw a splitter and it cuts the ball, that's middle finger dominant, and then sometimes it's arm side up, and that's usually when I'm index finger dominant. So I need to find the right separation between those 2 fingers, so when I throw this ball at release, I can feel that I'm kind of like, what am I trying to think of, like claw mechanism here, of both fingers even with pressure behind and then through the baseball. That's when my splitter's at the best. But like I say, it's a tough thing. It's tough to be consistent with your pitches, you know. So that's what I got on my splitter. I'll throw one, since I haven't thrown one in 3 months. Sure. Jitterbug! Oh, that was actually nasty. And it went in the net. Let's go.